why should I give a damn?
This next topic I want to talk about is about reincarnation. And I was talking to you, Juke, before the show about this. So you probably know a little bit more detail about this than even I do, because I just found out about this situation. But it's basically about a young white boy who came to his parents one day and told them that he was a black woman in another life. And not only was he a black woman, but he died, I believe, was it suicide or what? What happened? How did
it was a fire. So
fire.
So the white child, and it wasn't that he came out and told his parents initially. It was that they would recognize little things that he would like and ask him more questions about it. And then they started to find out who he was in his past life. So they said he would like old school R&B. He liked gold jewelry. He liked little different things and shit. And they would ask him like, where do you get this stuff from? And he was like, I was a lady before. And they're like, you were a lady before? He was like, a brown lady. And they like, okay. So they didn't, and of course.
Was this Rachel Dolezal?
No, it was just a little white boy and shit. But no, it wasn't even that kind of vibe. This is just a fucking 5-year-old white boy telling parents, just recognizing that he like wild, like black cultural things. And so they started to question him a little more about the things that he would like.
They woke up, he was doing the crazy in love routine. They like,
Right.
what the fuck?
And this was in the low key like 2000s or so, like 90s, 2000s. So it wasn't even nothing like that.
Why do you keep packing hot sauce in your lunch pail?
Swag. Where are these words coming from? Right. So no, it wasn't even like, I'm talking about 70s old school black music.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, exactly.
Nigga sick.
Good times and shit, scratching and surviving. So they started to talk to him more about certain things, and he told them before I was born, I was a brown woman. And little by little, he started to tell them her name was Pam. She lived in a high-rise building. She died by fire. Like a fire took place in this high-rise, and it got up to the midways in the floors. So it's like 20 floors in this building. And the only way that this lady thought she had a chance of survival was jumping out the window. So he said that he remembered actually jumping out the window, and then at this moment it said that God assigned him a life, and which was the life that he came into as this little white boy. Now they found this woman's, Pam's family, and asked them certain things about the things that he remembered about being Pam, and they said it was dead ass. Like they said nobody would ever have known these things about Pam unless they knew her and shit. So, and I was telling E before we began recording and shit, like, I love reincarnation stories because I'm very much a spiritual person. Again, Juke Marciano, search me on all streaming platforms because I am an artist. But there's a holy, people call it a theme, but it's really not. Like, I'm just a spiritual person. But for me, reincarnation is basically, it explains how I feel about spirits. This flesh is just a vehicle for our spirits. So we were other people in this life. And that's why certain things like deja vu, you knowing things that you never really learned about or nobody told you about, but you just innately have this knowledge of something that you have, that nobody ever taught you, you just know it. Those things aren't a coincidence. So I feel like, and I told E, like transgender people, and on a spiritual level, I feel that transgender people could possibly feel the remnants so strongly of who they were in a past life that it honestly feels like I'm someone else trapped in someone else's body. Like I'm this spirit of a person trapped inside of a body that I can't identify with. So it's just like, that's why I always, and even so, like, not even to veer off into another topic, but there's so many different stereotypes and things within just the LGBT community as is, because just because I'm a lesbian doesn't mean that I understand transgender people. I'm not a transgender person, so I can't live their experience, but I have empathy for it because I know that sometimes life, like we were just saying before, there's so many unexplainable things about life.
So you stand with Dave Chappelle?
What did he say?
Oh, nothing.
But I love Dave. Shout out to Dave and shit. So I probably would tell me what are.
I'm just saying, you know, he was getting canceled because he had so-called jokes, he had jokes about trans and gays and
Yeah.
He got canceled. You not.
I
hip to
remember that. No, I do recall that.
But you didn't cancel him, all right?
No, because in his special he taught, and I think that was
I
another
think
breakdown.
I think it was more white.
That's what, and I swear to God, I was just gonna say that. But that's another breakdown. The things that we hear in the media, or the shit that we talk about in regards to the LGBT community, and a lot of black people feel like, oh well, they put gay rights before the rights of black people. You're missing the fact that there are gay black people that demographic don't give a fuck about. Like, we're still black people no matter if we're gay or not. So we have to face two types of discrimination, not from the outside world, but from our own people. We don't even feel safe amongst our own people because of the stigmatism of gay shit amongst black people.
You're all right, though. Let's not get divisive.
Yeah,
now.
I'm just saying. But and so I believe, so Dave Chappelle was speaking about the privilege of the white LGBT community.
That's right.
And like he was saying, we still, like, I forget which reference he used in that special, but he was like, we're still black, when he talked to black gay people, like, nigga. And I hate when people say, like, the hotep ass people, like, you black before you gay. I've never heard a black person say I'm straight before I'm black before I'm straight. Who came up with this shit? Like, I'm not.
Wait, you don't think you black before you gay?
I'm all of these
boy,
things. I never put it in an order.
If you was a racist white person, let's just, hypothetical world. You're not good at hypotheticals, but that's what I do. That's all I can do. I suck at everything else. You can say they see you. You think they gonna say you black first or a lesbian first?
They're definitely gonna call me a fucking nigger, dyke bitch or something like that and shit.
But so the nigger comes first.
The nigger is gonna come first for sure. But who labels oppression? I don't label my oppression. I'm being discriminated against. Oh, period.
You definitely right, Juke. I'm gonna tell you where that comes from, though. I'm gonna tell you the reason why you're seeing a lot more, especially now. You're seeing a lot more people saying the term of you're black before you're gay, and the reason why is because a lot of people.
Are you black before you are?
Before you're straight?
I'm black. I'm black before I'm everything. So I'm black before I'm everything.
See if I was catch him slipping.
First off, oh no, stop that. But like, if I had a chance, we talking about reincarnation. If I had a chance to be a white man or a black woman, I would be a black woman. Oh, I'm a single lady. I would be a black woman, bro.
I hope you get two choices.
Keep me black.
But that's a good way to think about it, because I've been on several other podcasts and explained, like, there's so many strikes against me because I am a black lesbian woman. Women were the last people to have the right to vote. Like, yet and still, it's like the patriarchy of it all is that you think you would want to be a black woman until you're getting paid $2 less than somebody you have more experience with.
I want to be a black woman.
But let me tell you where.
Respect to y'all, but that's not for me.
Let me tell you where.
I don't want to be a woman. Period. Okay, I ain't having no kids.
Hey, I tell you, I wake up, I'll be like, I'd be like, thank God I'm a man. I don't gotta bleed random. I don't gotta change my hair color.
But Colin, you would be a white man? You would be a white man?
Yes. I would have more power. I would level up.
Good.
I'm like a Pokemon.
I would look down and see my
Goku,
pink meat and slip my wrist. I'm good. I'm
but
good.
It's just like Jane Elliott, the down ass white lady that do all of the experiments amongst the white people to let them know, like, if you would trade, so you're saying there's black people are tripping. We need to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and there's no such thing as racism in this country. But when she asked the question, which one of you white people would trade places with a black person in this country? Stand up if you would. And nobody did. So if you're saying there's no discrimination, but you wouldn't trade places with a black person, you're innately saying that we have it worse than you in this country if you wouldn't trade places with me.
But that's why the reincarnation conversation is good to talk about race, sexuality when we talk about this.
Yep.
Because when you reincarnate, you don't know what you're going to come back at.
Exactly. You can't pick and choose where your spirit is going to land, which, yet and still, why I love reincarnation is we should treat each other with a little more kindness, just the simple fact that we've lived each other's lives in some aspect or shape or form, and we just don't realize it and shit. Keep me black for sure, but who's to say? I know there's little quirky moments in your spirit where it's just like, nah. This is giving very much middle-aged white man vibes and shit. Like,
man, don't keep me broke. All right, so I don't want to be like a Nicaraguan, like nigga in the field. I don't want to be a West Virginia coal miner.
Yes.
I don't want to be a slave. If I gotta be white for one rotation, let me ball the fuck out.
One rotation.
I want to be a Barron Trump little nigga for a good 80 years.
Period.
I'll be a nigga. Let me be a white, rich,
But a lot of those
spoiled
mo-
white nigga one
But a lot of those
time.
spoiled,
Exactly.
but how many?
I'll be an African king, but if I have to do that or be like,
But
because
Colin,
you know your
but Colin,
rule is.
I don't know, I
Half
was
of
about to say
those-
something. We gonna get
half of
canceled.
those rich
Don't
white
say that
boys,
then.
half of those rich white boys, they want to be niggas anyway. So
Yeah.
why
I've
would
been a nigga.
But I'm just saying, but you won't know that. But when you get reincarnated though, because you're gonna forget. So you're saying that from a nigga who's been a nigga. But
Yeah.
just imagine
That's
a
right,
nigga
though.
who's never been a nigga. You just a white boy. Those motherfuckers
I think
want to
so.
be niggas.
Hey,
so I ain't
the
want
great-
nigga every time.
The late great Paul Mooney said, "Everybody want to be a nigga, but don't nobody want to be a nigga."
Exactly.
So
But what if
going
you
back
can come
to
back an animal though? That's another thing I always think about because that's the part that scares
I love
me
that.
about reincarnation is what if I don't come back a human? Because the only scarier thing for me than coming back a white person is coming back an animal. Even though I
would
will
love
take,
to be an
even
animal.
I would take killer whale over white man. Okay, I would take that. But
It's most animals I would take over.
all right, man, there's
But-
a couple
and
animals
that's why
I
I
would take.
said I would love to come back as an animal. I love reincarnation in its full
What
entirety.
if you come back
and
as a
shit.
mosquito or some shit?
Or
like,
an
that's
ant,
trash.
some shit like that. Yeah, that is trash.
You come back,
But
and
I
I
think
don't want to
the
come back as an
lowest-
ugly animal either. Like no.
I think the lowest level of spirits go back as those things that don't have a great span of life and shit. So understand who you are in this life. Treat people with respect, and you will not come back as an ant or a fucking mosquito and shit.
Right, low
But
level
even so-
energy.
but
So you
low
saying
key,
all the
if you-
retarded motherfuckers gonna come back as like
Lord,
mice
no.
and shit.
Exactly. But low key, even if you think about ants are the hardest working
Oh, yeah.
anything in nature and shit. The way that they have community, the way that they build things, the way that they work together to store food and all of that shit. When you really think about the civilizations of even on that scale of
As
animals,
long as you can stay
insects,
away
all
from
that
humans,
shit.
ant life ain't bad. They got
It
little
ain't.
underground condos and shit.
They get stepped on all day, like, fuck that.
I'm trying not to turn up.
Turn up, let's get it.
I'm just saying, y'all niggas is capping. If y'all came back as ants, you be pissed.
No,
be
I would
pissed.
be.
Colin.
I know. I didn't say that. I
You
would
be
be
pissed off.
absolutely.
I
You
better
better
be
know
You
that
a
start
red
caving,
ant.
you be like, what the?
But
I'm
time
a
out,
fucking
time out.
ant.
No,
You're-
I
you're-
would
I
be
thought it was gonna be a
upset.
leopard or something.
You're
A
saying
falcon.
that, but
Be
you're
upset. I
saying,
ain't
Bitch, you
saying
an
that.
ant.
but y'all are saying that because you're a human.
I know that.
You have to think about it from a stance of you never.
Of
All
course.
you know is ant life. You've never been a human before.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now,
But
of
it's still
course, if I'm
trash.
talking about it from, of course, me talking about it from my house, yeah, ant life is trash. Nobody wants to be an ant.
Yeah.
But if all bro, for all we know, there's a way better life than what we're living now. We could be some
True enough.
spirit on another planet living way better.
True enough.
Looking at this human life, like, oh, I don't want to come back as a human. This shit is
Black.
trash. When you have your awareness at a certain level, yeah, certain shit is trash. But if we come back as a whale, all I know is the ocean.
Period.
All I know
But
is the ocean.
Right where you say that at, like low key, I'm not even gonna hold you and shit. Like when we think about when you said somebody on another planet, just like damn, that shit kind of suck and shit. When you think about it in its totality and shit, I believe in multiverses, like doppelgangers, all of that shit. I'm here for all of it.
Alternate
and
reality.
shit.
You think there's like
Alternate
you think there's
realities for
another
sure.
Juke doing the
Yeah.
exact opposite of what you're doing
Yes,
right now?
like low key, I had
feel
a
like
dream.
there is.
I had a dream where I met my doppelganger, and she was a police officer and shit. And literally, we're having
Was
a
she strapped?
She was strapped, honestly,
Man.
and the outfit was
We
given
kind of
very
think
much
alike. That's scary.
thin in the waist, thick in the motherfucking everything else, honey. Period. She was giving everything. Honestly, her outfit was her uniform was fitting.
So let me
cute.
ask you this question: If you were in a situation where you somehow met your doppelganger, like your twin, would you hit?
Oh, what?
Would you hit yourself?
No,
that's gay.
That's hella gay,
That's
and it's
gay.
just like
What the
weird.
What if it was
Like,
like but what if it was like a?
what the hell?
that's like masturbation
don't
on a
know.
whole nother level and shit. Like
It
that's
Doesn't that
like,
be
what
like
it
masturbation though?
that's like masturbation,
No,
porn,
no,
the mirror,
no.
Black Mirror shit. Like
It's
I
like-
don't know.
Masturbation.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like,
Like
next
role
level
play. Role play
masturbation
is
and
fun
shit.
with yourself.
It's like watching porn.
But what if
starring
it was a you?
yourself and shit.
But Juke, what if it was you? What if it was you, but it was like a different version of you?
No.
Like what type of girls do you go for?
I love very much a very badass bitch.
So what if it was you in badass pretty girl?
I'm
bitch
still
form?
gonna know it's me because I'm still a very badass bitch in this form.
Don't insult the lady.
Oh, I'm trying to
Period. And that's why I'm not a stud, because I can say, like, I know. Shout out to my granny, rest in peace and shit, because I love my granny. That was my favorite person on the planet. But every time she saw me up until she passed, she would say, "Baby, you are so pretty." I know I'm pretty. Flat. The haircut don't mean shit. The clothes don't mean nothing.
Right.
I know that I'm a beautiful person and shit. Beyond what you see and shit,
So,
I know that I'm giving, period. If I put a wig on now, I'm taking all y'all niggas.
But let me ask y'all this question, and I gotta ask you this question since we're talking about
sweating over there. Damn, you got him riled up.
Flat.
Get that man a towel.
Flat.
But the question I gotta ask y'all, because you talked about multiverses and reincarnation, you got me thinking about all this stuff. Let's say if you had a doppelganger, right, or you had a person that was you in another dimension, but that dimension was like was thousands of years behind, right? Mm-hmm. You had to switch places with one of them. Like you died, and God was like, "Hey," or whoever he might be, Rod, whatever his name is,
Rod.
he telling you, "Hey, I'm gonna let you come back in the world, but you got to switch places with one of these." Now, one of them is in the prehistoric, like caveman era,
Okay.
with dinosaurs still living.
Cool.
The other one is in the slavery times.
Oh my God.
Would you rather deal with slavery or dinosaurs?
Definitely dinosaurs. I'm a nature girl at the end of the day as well. And I can't say what our ancestors went through. And that's why I was kind of pissed off at Kanye. Like, I don't care about people with free thought, because I know we all think on different wavelengths and vibrations and all that shit. So Kanye don't bother me. He's just the spaz in moments and shit. But when he brought up the whole slavery shit, like, if slavery was a choice and all that, like, no, my nigga, like, you don't know what they had to deal with. We can't say. We go to a job where white motherfuckers tell us what to do every day, but you go back to that job every day because you need to pay your bills. So if you put up with that shit on a daily basis, 9 to 5 and all of that, you can't tell me what you think our ancestors had a choice to do. Right. So with that being said, it couldn't have been me. I would have been dead immediately. I would take the prehistoric age. The dinosaurs would have been like puppies to me. Period. And I would have lived my best life.
I got what Colin's gonna use, because he would have been in the house. Good. So what?
Definitely would have been Chicken George son.
Colin, stick me one of the good pieces of chicken, bro.
Definitely a house nigga vibes and shit. He would have been in a little shed.
But a house nigga back then was different. Like, now we call house king niggas like coon. Back then, any motherfucker that was light skinned or the master fuck with your mama.
For sure.
You were in there.
If moms had some WAP, you were in the house and shit.
All the Trevor Noahs, all the Steph Currys, they was in the house. But which one you choosing, Colin? Slavery or dinosaurs?
I do. My friends and I do have a dark humor. So they always call me a house nigga, and I'm like, that would be great. Honestly, personally, I would the dinosaur. I wouldn't want to do slavery. Like, realistically, like, I don't guarantee. Of course, I always say I could probably hit the daughter, probably hit the mama, eat some leftover pie. I think it would be luxurious, and I would be snitching on niggas I didn't like. I would be snitching on niggas I didn't like. Talk crazy to me, we're ratting.
So this nigga was talking shit.
But honestly,
don't worry, Colin boy.
Most dinosaurs.
Which one of them boys was talking down to you?
Smacking it. Most dinosaurs, they don't actually look like how they've been portrayed. A lot of them were herbivores. True. They weren't really carnivores. A few of them were. So, like, really, it would be scary, but I think you could probably maintain to an extent. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to be around slaves. Even though I would be in a crib, I would relinquish that to be around, dinosaurs.
Breezy?
It sounds nuts.
I'm not doing the Stone Age. No.
Go ahead and get your little slavery money.
Go get my slavery money.
Pick a little cotton and pick a little cotton.
Niggas said a little cotton.
It was a whole lot of cotton and shit.
It wasn't a little.
Look, Breezy would have been the painting with the black lady breastfeeding the white child and shit. Like,
I would have been the one breastfeeding on it.
I don't even want to joke about what Breezy really would be doing in slavery.
That's
I will be cooking for sure.
Or Eric. You know, buck breaking.
Cooking and baking.
No, that's why I said I'm definitely going because big niggas had it down to the worst. I'm dealing with the Tyrannosaurus. I'm never going.
They was gonna slap some lard on E and glisten his muscles up real quick.
Fuck that. I'll deal with a Tyrannosaurus over Chuck. I'll deal with a Triceratops over Peter, the master. Fuck that.